So we've been studying volume in class, which is how many cubic inches can fit inside of a 3D object. Now we're looking at surface area. So we're looking at the outside surfaces. So the sum of the areas, sum is a math word that you should know means the answer when you add. So when you're adding the areas of all the surfaces, and the surfaces on a 3D object are also called the faces. So you add all the areas of the faces contained in a 3D, three-dimensional figure or solid. And when you add all the areas of all the faces, you have found surface area. So let's look at this example here. Here we have a 3D object. We have a rectangular prism. And they've labeled some of the dimensions, all of the dimensions actually. I have 15, which is the height. So all of these going up and down are 15. I have 5, which is this little edge, that edge. All those little edges are 5. And I have 16. So 16 here, 16 here, 16 here, 16 here. And I need to find the area of all the faces. So what I did was I made a net of this. A net is taking a 3D object and unfolding it, laying it flat so you can see all the different shapes that make it up. So we have the front of the prism, which I'm outlining in green. That's the front. This is a 16 by 15. I know that all these sides going up are 15. And these edges are 16. So that is the front here. This is the same shape. And the front is going to be the same shape as the back. A 15 by 16. Okay, then we can look at the sides. I have a left side that's 5 by 15. And that would be here and here. Those would be the left and the right side. And then you have a top and a bottom. And I'm going to use purple. So you have a top, and this is 5, because all these little edges are 5, and these edges are 16. So this is a 5 by 16. Like the top and the bottom. So I need to find the area of all of those. So we have, this is 5. We're going to do a 5 by 15 for that side and find that area. And once I get that, I know with this one, whatever the left side is, the right side has to be the same one. Well, 5 times 15 is 75. So I know this is 75. I'm finding the area by doing length times width. So that's the left and right side. I know they're 5 by 15. We can do the front and the back. The front and the back are 16 by 15. So this is 16, and all of these lines going across here are 15. This is 15 by 16. Calculate that and see what you get. So 16 times 15, you should have gotten 240 for the front, 16 by 15, and then the same area for the back, multiplying the length times the width. Even though it's the height, you're just multiplying the two dimensions. Then I have the top and the bottom. This is a 5 by 16. So this edge is 16, this edge is 5. And you multiply that together, you should get 80. And whatever the top is, the bottom's going to be the same thing. Well, what is the total surface area? Well, I have two sides that are 75. I have two faces, a front and a back, that are 240. And I have a top and a bottom face that are both 80. Both have an area of 80. And when I find the sum, when I add all of those up, I'm going to have the total surface area. Well, I have two 75s, so I can add them, or I can just, if I know that I have two of those, I can just multiply 2 times 75. And I have two of these, a front and a back, and I have two bottoms. For me, it's easier to multiply these because I can right away see that this is going to be 150 I can right away see that this is going to be 480, and I could see that's going to be 160. And now the last step is to add those all together. So add those and then check your answer. And you should have gotten 790. And they don't give us inches or feet or miles, so I'm just going to put units squared. We're using a square because I'm multiplying two numbers at a time to get the area. Area is in square units. 5 times 15 is the area of this. 16 times 15 is the area of this. So you want to make sure your units are squared. So you don't have a net for this one, but you need to just find the size. So you have a 3 by 4. You know you're going to do 3 times 4 to get the area of this side. Well, that is the same as the one over here. So you're going to do 2 of those. You're going to multiply 3 times 4, and then you have 2 sides that are 3 times 4. You have a bottom that's a 6 by 3. This is 6 and that's 3. So I'm going to multiply 6 times 3 to get the area of the bottom. And my top is also 6 times 3. Even though the numbers are there, you know the top and bottom are the same. So I have 2 of those. And last, I have the front and back. Well, it's all of these are 4. All of these going up and down are 4. And this bottom edge is 6. So to find the area of the front and back, I need to multiply 4 times 6. And I have a front and I have a back that's also 6 times 4. So I can find the area, multiply it times 2, find the area, multiply it times 2, find the area, multiply it times 2, and then you can add them all up together. Try this one and try the next one and ask Ms. Gardner at the sub to check your answers.